Hey everyone, happy Sunday, the fun day. How is it going? You enjoying the snow? This is like the third snow in this fucking winter season, and I don't like it. What? Or okay, please don't take too much time. Okay, just okay. You did all the cleaning. You don't need to do that because we have the photographer coming tomorrow, right? For the apartment and for the listing. So finally, we're taking that step. So that's happening. What else is happening, huh? That's it. Nothing else. It's just, depressing winter in New York. And yeah, for my wife, it's a beautiful winter because the first one and the second one, she will know what it's like, right? And after the third one, she's going to move down to Dallas somewhere, right? Away from this fucking cold, man, honestly. Um, so I was out with a couple of friends Friday, but we overdid it. That was bad. You know, uh, and then I was waiting for the fucking cab 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, and it starts snowing, and I was frozen to fucking whatever corpse. All right, almost. Um, but in any case, yeah, I mean, I'm too fucking old, and I said this like gazillion times. You can't do it. All right, don't stay out too late. I mean, I only go out one night, but doesn't matter. All right, just staying out too late, just not good. In any case, so uh, tomorrow is what is tomorrow? Monday, isn't that a holiday of some sort? Oh, you're working, and I got all these, clients and projects, and uh, except the money part is not good. It's never good. People just don't pay you on fucking time. You know. However, this is part of running a business in a place like New York. All right, and I'm stuck here. I can't leave my clients. I can't leave my projects. Then I have to, if I want to go south, then I had to get the license there, and I can get the license down there, but then I had to start from the fucking square one. All right. So, that's the other part that makes me depressed. I went to school here 24 years ago, upstate New York, right? That's how I ended up here. New York City and the lifestyle, whether of my own making or just that's just it was. Uh, but one thing I don't want to do on this podcast is go back in the fucking past. I just don't want to. All right. And I want to live a peaceful life. I was just telling my wife that we should live our life in peace and love and tranquility, you know, um, and a little less stress. A little less stress. What can you do? All right. So, having said that, I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. Okay. So cool. I can't. That's it. All right. It just screws up the whole fucking Saturday, because Friday night is my night out, and it just screws up the whole fucking Saturday. It's just not good. All right. And the health part too, right? The whole, Jesus fucking Christ. In any case, all right, everyone, without rambling about my own fucking shortcomings, all right? What else is going on? So we've been watching this show called Hijack, right? With what's his name? Idris Elba. So pretty sure it's intense sort of like fucking, plane hijacking, right? And which I don't like, given why I was here when fucking September 11th happened, right? I mean, I wasn't in the city upstate New York, but it just, that's just whole experience, obviously, has affected a lot of us, even down the road, right? But without going back into to that event, um, the show, all right? The show is an intense show, all right? Uh, highly recommended, all right? But here's that other fucking problem, right? If you want to see a show, right, on Amazon, because I unsubscribed every fucking subscription, right? There you go. I didn't realize I had through Amazon, right? The Apple TV, the fucking, what's the other one? Paramount, and Hulu, and all those. I realized I was paying like $10, $15 each every month, right? I just basically cancel out those. I just have basic Amazon, right? But you can't watch any shows, and then even if you have to, you have to either sign up, right, with any of those services, or you have buy or rent, which is a lot of fucking money, you know. But in any case, so we also have this other channel, right? Which I mean, it's not that good. We have this other sort of like I don't know, I don't want to disclose a lot of information, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of fucking money, man. Um, but then on a Sunday fucking night, you know, you're stuck inside an apartment, right? Plus, I don't want to walk Sunday, all right? Unless it's like a family thing, I'm meeting, maybe my folks for dinner, early dinner, and they just go home, all right? Uh, however, what else can you do? It's fucking snowing outside and you just stuck inside and, like a lunatic, right? Like I was before my wife got here, right? And I don't have a lot of friends, and plus, once it's not a matter of having a lot of friends or not, because I just sounded like a 20-something-year-old. Oh, I don't have a lot of friends, man. Nobody likes me. I'm so sorry, man. You don't have any friends because maybe they don't like you. Doesn't matter. My age doesn't fucking matter, all right? But you got to have your close couple of buddies you hang out with. Have some fucking laughs, have some beers, not too many fucking beers, all right? And get home on time. All right, that's it. All right? Get back home on fucking time. And that's all you can do, right? Watch shows. And then we have this Nintendo Switch, right? What else can you do? Fucking, play what, like the sports, golf. My wife likes that, golf and tennis and Oh my fucking, and then you get bored after that as well, right? It's such a fucking sort of like phenomena, the winter here, right? It just limits your mobility so much, just you're stuck inside. And if you're doing this same thing over and over again, right? You're fucking miserable walking in the fucking snow or wind or whatever it is, right? Because this is the place where we live. It's the wind. The wind is fucking crazy, even near my office. And that's the other fucking problem. There's no fucking heat still in the office, and I've been pounding them, calling them, emailing them. Oh, we were doing this, blah, blah, blah. This is such a fucking bad, like, uh, landlord. There's no heat in the whole fucking building. It's like almost a month now. I had to call Jersey City like the officials. All right, I'm gonna do that. If they don't fix it, I'm gonna do that again and get them out there. And maybe hopefully they give them some fucking violation so they fix it, right? So, uh, what they promised us that they will run some separate circuits, right, for us to run those fucking heaters. All right, I don't want to fucking go on and on about this either because just it's just stressful situation when your office is not properly heated and it's like fucking snowing outside, right? And I feel bad for myself, my engineers, two of them, you know, and they have to put up with this shit as well, right? In any case, so moving on, everyone, moving on. All right, this is all part of life. It shouldn't be, right? And what's the other show we have been watching? All right, so I've been watching, and also my wife. Better Call Saul, remember with Bob Odenkirk? That's the offshoot of fucking what is that show? The Breaking Bad, right? Fucking amazing, great show. And they made this show like an offshoot, right? Is there any other shows, any other fucking like movies, new movies? I don't know. But in any case, this what our life is now, all right? Or you just basically are someone who's not into fucking TV or movies, any of that, right? Then what do you do? Like read newspaper? I have a fucking idea, right? um, sorry, I just had a moment right there. And I was thinking about, what happened to your comedy, man? I don't know. I say that I'll do it, then I don't do it, and I think it's just basically hurting my own fucking soul, all right? Because there's in the back of my mind, I want to do it, but I'm not prepared, and I have to get up on the fucking mic, all right? So I had to sign up, and then I had to prepare some notes, so make it comical, so people have some laughs, and instead of like throwing fucking eggs and tomatoes at me, right? Um, I don't know. I just feel too fucking old to do anything else other than just what I have to do minimal. All right? Minimal. I'm not too enthusiastic about a lot of things. And it comes with age. Um, and so all my dreams, all my ambitions, man, I just given up on. Where is she going? Where are you going? I'll be inside. Please don't get okay. So I don't want to gym. gets on the treadmill. We have the gym inside the building, right downstairs, and I think we're gonna stay in this building because that's just good for my wife. She goes twice a day. Uh, Holy smokes, I play golf, sir. I can't play that, and it's just fucking depression. Honestly, it's depression. And then the other fucking problem, right? My wife actually went down to Edison Friday while I was out, right? And then the fucking the fob doesn't work, the key fob, right? And I'm trying to basically look up on fucking YouTube and internet and AI, right? Because the fobs don't work, and then it has a fucking beep. It says the key is in the ignition when it's not. When you open the door, oh, the key's in the fucking ignition. It's not. So now I gotta fucking fix that. It's a 2015. It's an 11 years old Jeep, and is that also part of life? Fucking god. And tomorrow, tomorrow is Monday. All right, that I gotta do, and then again, hopefully we got some fucking heat in the building. All right. However, once we list this apartment, and when people start showing up to see it, then I think we're gonna escape for a week at least. Escape, man. Escape. All right. And now there's the other fucking problem, right? I'm hoping, fingers crossed, you guys please keep us in your prayers and your well wishes that get an offer sooner because scheduling the apartment for people to see that's also a fucking pain in the ass because my schedule obviously is I don't get up early, super early because I work late at night, and my wife doesn't either, right? But it's just a pain in the ass, like if we have to do this for like a couple of months, you know, or every week or every other fucking day somebody's coming in and to look at the apartment. Now we have to be out of here. You don't want to be here when they are here, right? So you go downstairs and wait in the fucking car. I don't fucking know. All right. So hopefully you get some offers, man. Fingers crossed, believe in the fucking universe and pray to the universe. All right. That's what it is. We try our best. I mean, it's a nice apartment, but a lot of competition. Okay, but okay. Hey, listen, I'm not going to into fucking details, but please keep your fingers crossed for us. All right. We're gonna miss living here because this is a cute apartment I bought during the year I was getting married. And this was like a marriage gift for both of us. And then the fucking special assessment shit started happening, right? Last year. And now we are basically stuck with this. In any case, all right, everyone. But if you are looking to buy something here in Port Liberté, it's luxurious, community over here. We got two pools, tennis courts, away from all the fucking civilization, away from concrete jungle, peaceful. All right, and so that's what's happening, and it's already January 18th, and I would I would have loved to be somewhere warmer. Actually, a friend of ours, actually, he's getting married. I think he got married in down in Mexico. And I mean, it's 70 degrees down there, and it's like fucking snowing up here. It's just, I just got more depressed. But well, wishes for him and his wife, newly, and but they've been living together for a long time, so I don't think except for the whole ceremony and all that part. Uh, Married life is obviously it's different. You got to be responsible. Sometimes I feel like I'm not. When I stay up too late on a fucking Friday, then I reminisce and go back into my old fucking habits, right? But I don't want to do that. And then marriage life also is a lot of compromises. It's on both ends, both sides. And I don't know. I mean, after because my obviously, it's justified that my wife gets angry when I'm not home early. Uh, but then, the next morning, sometimes, we have argument, but we love each other, and that's part of life. But in the grand scheme of things, but this is not in the grand scheme of things, but I'm just looking at my own life, right? That sometimes I feel like maybe, I was just supposed to live in the status quo of my life. I've gone through a lot through COVID. I've gone through a lot. I'm pretty sure many of you feel that way. The isolation part, and then the whole fucking, like, sort of like then isolating your own self from the world because you see everything is like fucking the world is coming to an end or some shit like that, right? On a global scale. And then, it was also on the politicians' part, which was a fucking shit show because they shut down the whole cities and the whole fucking, towns and the whole fucking, world, you know, except for some parts of our country, so such as Florida and Texas, which are never actually shut down, which is good for them. I think that's what we should have done. But the politicians up here are fucking horrible. Yeah, New Jersey. In any case, I don't know. I just felt like, you know, you live once, don't they say that? Or we don't know what happens after we die. That's a whole fucking, abyss. Nobody has answer, right? I mean, from a standpoint of logic and science, we just die, and then we just die. All right. It's done. It's over. It's like fucking, animals or whatever, plants. We are animals, right? But this is the life. And, obviously every one of us, not us or us, have these unfulfilled dreams and wishes and, whatever you call them, right? And having a steady relationship, I think that is one of the I think that is one of the main aspects of our life. I mean, some people basically don't do it. That's what I was up until I met my wife. And sometimes I do feel like maybe I should have just stayed in the status quo and then just be, a lunatic forever. But then, at the same time, you feel like, oh yeah, you deserve someone. Everybody deserves somebody. They want to have some sort of relationship, not relationships. Don't have too many fucking relationships at the same time. All right, polygamy, whatever the fuck it is. But polyamory, is that what it is? But I'm not preaching to any choir here, okay? But that's what somehow came out of my some sort of a deep part of my consciousness, which sort of told me, I think that, listen, man, I mean, is this what you want to do? Is this what you want to live as far as your life? Um, and then, I said, all right, I'm going to try this. So here I am. But then for me to, get married at the age of 49 also is sort of late, Yeah, I mean, in the Western world, everything late is basically still young, right? Which is so-called. I'm not saying that 49, you know, is the new 39, all right? And people, get into relationships, they leave, relationships are not easy. You gotta put work into it, you gotta compromise and blah, 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 right? Some things, yeah, of course, you don't want to compromise. But uh, that thought in my mind still is like, were you ready, man? Are you really, can you commit to a relationship? Can you actually, since you have been like just living, literally like living by yourself for the longest time, maybe not the longest, but like just long enough, like quarter of a century, right? Almost. And I'm literally like living means like living alone, like talking to these fucking walls and like, and then talking to myself through this fucking podcast, right? And I'm not saying that, I was completely isolated. I mean, I still have family here. My sister, she got married before me, but it's just that some people choose to basically stay that way, and then and it's good for them. But I just somehow I felt like I was like my mind was broken, like it was shaken by the experience of COVID. I have a feeling. And I'm not saying that I was desperate and lonely. I felt lonely more than before. I think that's that was true to an extent. That I felt like, life is not something that is to be lived alone. You know, somebody said that. Somebody from one of the radio shows that I listened to. I think he said that. And unfortunately, some of us, we don't get to choose. Oh, I'm gonna live my life with the love of my life. I have found her. I found him. We need to. We have decided to do this, and yes, many people do that, but many of us, including me, before I got married, we didn't have that sort of luxury to like have that choice, whatever it means. And one of the reasons is because the fucking Northeast, I'm not saying that they're not women, but it just as you age out, it just becomes harder to find somebody up here. All right. And then, expectations and, people look at you, oh, where is this guy from? I mean, looks like he's from this portion of the world, but it doesn't seem like when I talk to him from his fucking accent, right? That whole fucking. I'm not saying that men don't judge women. It's both ways, all right? But uh, the dating game has always been, especially up here, it has been women's, territory, and that's true, you know. However, uh, without like analyzing too much about my own. my own circumstance, relationship, and all that. I love my wife. There'll always be disagreements, not misagreements, disagreements between couples. But you gotta keep the love strong. And did I turn my podcast into some sort of oh, oh, a life with or without a steady relationship? I don't. Um, I'm just babbling and I'm just telling you what I feel like. Um, and again, being in a place like New York is just a place which can give you a path. But the first path it gives you is if you're young and again, I don't mean for this to be like a takeaway for young people, but this is true, and the life you choose uh, at an early age if you're in New York, all right, and then it will suck you into that lifestyle, all right. That's it. But always have friends, always have some sort of a fucking direction. I mean, direction in the sense that obviously we all work, right? Uh, but the opportunity part, I think that was just not in my fucking dictionary. I mean, I tried to make music and all that, right? I tried, my channel basically started off with cooking videos back in 2011, fucking 15 years ago, But I mean, I'm not a chef. I never cooked in a restaurant, right? Or I'm not a musician, Every skill, every, you know, profession, whatever you want to get into, you need some sort of knowledge or experience, right? Uh, where the hell am I going with this? No, that's it. So New York is a black hole, that's for sure. All right, and there are many sub black holes. Which one? You want to be a comedian? You want to be basically a party fucking animal? Most part New York is a party town. All right, that can actually suck you down into that fucking hole. All right, especially weekends. And I understand if you're young, that's what you want to do and you want to meet, your future, whatever. And that's basically the natural way of, finding somebody and all that. But where the fuck am I going with this? All right, I'll just shut my mouth by just saying that um, the first bar I hung out in New York, right? And that owner actually is now one of my clients, and then it's a comedy show, all right? They do a comedy show, and he's trying to build a comedy store. And somebody had told me, I'm talking like 25 fucking years ago, hey man, downstairs is a fucking comedy. Do you want to check it out? I'm like, what the fuck is that, right? We need to have I mean, we only have flip phones at that time, none of these fucking like smartphones to look up. Well, I mean, I kind of knew what comedy was, stand up, but if I had gone to that fucking comedy store, or whatever the fuck that place is right now, 25 years ago, let's say, if I went there on a Sunday night and I just listened to the comics, right? And then I would say, all right, man, I'm going to try this. I'm going to, at an early age, I'm not saying again that I would have been a fucking, successful comedian, but, you got to try. If you don't try, and then these fucking regrets stay with you for the rest of your life until you get to the fucking grave. And then don't they say that before you get to the fucking grave, that regrets, the thing that you have not done, those become more. sort of like picturesque. Is that what it is? The things you have done don't matter. All right. I don't know. I don't fucking know. So that's it. That's my podcast, everyone. I presume you all are having a great Sunday night and stay warm and stay fucking, you know, dry. Um, and I'll see you all again. I apologize. I babbled too much, I think. I'll see you all next week.